This is the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship finale. 2022 has been the first full year of uninterrupted rallying since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. We started in Otago with the debut of Ben Hunt's Skoda New Zealand R5, as well as the Ford Fiesta R5 of Todd Borden. But it was Hayden Paddon in the older AP4 Hyundai who took the honours. Whangarei lacked the international drivers as the sport still struggled with travel restrictions, but Hayden Paddon led the way ahead of the chasing pack of Ben Hunt and young star Repco, who claimed his first outright podium for the season. But a close call for two-wheel drive champ Dylan Thompson put him on the back foot in his battle to defend his crown. South Canterbury produced the usual mix of fast and exciting roads with some early morning fog to mix with the dust. Hayden Paddon emerged from that to make it 3 from 3. An unlucky rollover took out the Ford of Borden. But in second, Ben Hunt had to defend from a resurgent Matt Summerfield, finding form in the AP4 Mitsubishi. Kennedy Park Rally Hawke's Bay saw a return to different stages for 2022. Paddon was absent in Europe, leaving Ben Hunt to battle with supercar champion Shane Van Gisbergen in his R5 Skoda. SVG led until a slippery stage 4 corner saw him wheels down in a ditch. So Hunt left to fight for the lead despite a throttle issue. Ari Pettigrew and Matt Summerfield filling the podium, just ahead of the new R5 Skoda Evo 2 of Rana Horan. And so we come to Repco Rally New Zealand. Paddon now driving his new R5 Hyundai, which will be his car for the 2023 WRC2 Championship. Along with Hunt, Horan, SVG, Kingsley Jones, Todd Borden, Robbie Stokes, Andy Martin, Dylan Turner, Jack Hawkswood, Hayden McKenzie and Glenn Inkster. They would form the bulk of the WRC2 field in the rally, while the remaining competitors would run in the national field. Paddon and Hunt given the honour of being the first two cars on the first stage. Paddon set the pace and was never bettered in NZRC or WRC2 all day. Hunt struggled again with a power delivery issue and on the final stage crashed off the road. Robbie Stokes struck problems from the start and retired to prepare for day 2. While Shane Van Gisbergen showed he has just as much talent on the gravel, including this incredible recovery on stage 4.
Oh, good job. Fast 5 right, opens and tightens 4.
Matt Summerfield proved again he was the best of the AP4 drivers. Todd Borden getting his confidence back with a fine drive to 4th ahead of Kingsley Jones. So victory to Paddon meant another NZRC title. One pairing who did claim a championship together, Dylan Thompson and Baden Thompson, Category 2 champions. John Silcock and Donna Elder also claiming Cat 4 for the historic cars in their Group B RX7. Day 2 of Rally New Zealand and the stages north of Auckland. Kaipara Hills, a real treat for drivers. 16 kilometres of fantastic corners to start the day. Then the longer stage, Puhoi, at 22 kilometres before a sprint through the 5-kilometre Komakoriki Hill, a former WRC test stage. This stage not used on WRC since Colin McRae set a time of 10 minutes 37 in 1995, and Hayden Paddon had set a new record in 2020 on the City of Auckland Rally, 10 minutes 23.9. Earlier today, the WRC driver Craig Breen had smashed that at 9 minutes 42.9. The weather today was terrible, BB.
Yeah, the rally gods are delivered by bringing us back to WRC, but the weather gods hadn't got the memo. It was atrocious out there, but the fans still turned up in their droves. It was fantastic to see them lining the stages. And already with just 10 cars in front of Paddon, you see that standing water forming in the lines. This road is so hard packed, it's going to be seriously slippery.
So this time likely to be slower than his 2020 stage time at 10 minutes 27.8.
Hayden, good morning. How was that first blast through that stage for you? Yeah, obviously with all the rain, it's safe for everyone. It's slippy. Obviously the roads is getting more and more chewed up with every car. So just trying to keep it neat and tidy and try and stay in the line. And yeah, again, no risks, but again, in these conditions, it's difficult.
Shane van Gisbergen next through the stage, and conditions are not improving.
50.
It's a tricky end to the stage here.
62 left. Long
Those
gap,
moments just don't
62
seem
left.
to fluster him. He just gets back on with the job. Of course, he has driven over this bit of road before in the City of Auckland rally back in 2020. That was in a BDA Escort, and the weather could not have been more different. It was baking sunshine, and now it's teeming down with rain. He's certainly flying down towards the finish line there. The commitment's huge. 10 minute 40.7. That's within a second a kilometre of Paddon. It's a great start to the morning for SVG.
Good morning, Shane. At the end of yesterday, you told me it was one of your best days ever in your racing career. Are you going to go one better today?
Oh, it's a pretty cool way to start. The rain's a bit average, but yeah, that was a good way. I don't know how we went, but felt okay, so we'll see.
Todd Borden, third of the New Zealand drivers. Under WRC rules, drivers who finish day one are started ahead of those who rejoin. So Borden moved up the order in front of Ben Hunt and Rana Horan.
And for Todd, plenty to play for. He's also chasing the lead in the WRC2 Masters category for over 50s, up against former APRC champ Armin Kramer.
Borden's time 11 minutes, 2.2 seconds. Ben Hunt had repaired his Skoda, but despite an overnight session on the car's computer with the Skoda team in Europe, they were still struggling with throttle response. Rana Horan had replaced his turbo, but because it had not been presented for WRC scrutineering, he was dropped out of WRC2 and now running down the order with the National Rally. That didn't slow him, however, and he was third fastest, 7.3 seconds behind SVG. Ari Pettigrew also running in the national field, but despite that, he was fourth fastest on the stage, just 11.5 behind Horan.
He's pushing on well here. Oh, that's Dylan Turner there. There's a story to follow up for you, Budgie.
Into a 3 left plus long nips.
Lots of understeer. You can see just how slippery that is. I wonder if Dylan's heading off there.
And flat short 6 right.
Matt Summerfield just 1.5 back in fifth. This was also the battle for third in the championship. Matt just 2 points behind Ari going into this final round. And if Ben Hunt had a bad day, both in with a chance for second overall.
There's a lot to play for here. There's those championship positions on the line, and those conditions could not be more treacherous.
Kingsley Jones another 5 seconds back. In fact, just 25 seconds separating the next 7 cars. Force Motorsport team had reprogrammed the sensor in the Yaris GR AP4, so a much better run this morning into 9th for Jack Hawkswood. Josh Marston just 6 seconds behind. Hayden McKenzie in the other Yaris. The car has finally got the reliability with a top finish on day one. Hayden now looking to get back to the top 10, just 1.7 seconds down.
Five right minus, 4 left plus.
Phil Campbell had been very competitive on Friday morning before being forced out. He was thick in this battle for 10th.
And that was a real shame. What we saw from Phil on Friday morning is what we've come to expect and almost expected all season. Not having done all the day, they've lost that momentum. They're not far off, they're just hanging off the coattails. But those other drivers that have had the experience in these conditions just have the upper hand.
Glenn Inkster, another retirement on day one, but he was just 2 seconds down on Campbell in the first of the Force Motorsport Mazdas. Robbie Stokes' team had cured the electrical fault, which saw him retire on Friday, but not on the pace here as conditions worsened.
And again, just another graphic example. We know Robbie is ultra fast, but he's missed out on 180 Ks of stage mileage in these sorts of conditions the day before to acclimatise himself.
Andy Martin in the Polo R5 having his own battle with Clint Cunningham in the Skoda R5. These two cars are both original generation R5s, but for both drivers this is a dream to be competing in modern WRC stages on a WRC event. Dylan Turner though having more bad luck after his double puncture on day one.
And it looks like as he's gone past there, he's been over. So that's not the end of the season he's going to be looking for as he limps that car out. Hopefully he can keep it going across the day.
Duncan McCrosty and Brian Green tying on this stage. Brian had fitted a new turbo to be back on day 2, while Duncan aiming for a top 10 finish after narrowly missing out on leg 1. Stage 9, Puhoi. The longest of the day at 22 kilometres. These longer stages suiting Patton, who had no trouble winning the stage despite the conditions.
3 right plus Nipson. K30 don't. Half 3 right opens. 60. Small crest, 30. Half 5 right and drive. 120. Half 4 left minus opens long tight. It's half 3 minus a letterbox.
And while Shane van Gisbergen did have experience here from 2020, that was in a different car in different conditions.
4 right.
He would lose 21 seconds to Patton.
150. Care brake crest 30. 3 left slippy. 30. 5 right plus long. Oh, the bumper. 100. 6 right plus don't.
But the big mover on this stage, Todd Borden, 4th fastest behind Rana Horan, and that moved him from 6th to 4th as the cars headed to service in Auckland after the cancellation of stage 10.
And just look at all the people out there. Just phenomenal. Look at them all. They ain't going to let a little, or in this case a lot of rain, keep them away from this show that they've been waiting 10 years for. So heading back to service, and things are reasonably tight at the top of the leaderboard. Patton's lead just 33.8 seconds over Van Gisbergen, Horan less than 25 seconds back, but check out that battle between 4th and 8th, just over 8 seconds covering the 5 cars.
Next up, the battle for two-wheel drive comes to a dramatic end, and we meet the rally driver flying the flag for Niue. Welcome back to round 6 of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship on a wet and wild Saturday north of Auckland. Dylan Thompson had wrapped up the New Zealand two-wheel drive class, but still fighting for overall two-wheel drive and the victory in round 6. Conditions getting worse, and of course the road becoming more slippery as the cars run through the stage. No record breaking here, but Dylan putting up a respectful 11 minutes 58.6.
You can see how hard he's pushing. Although he's wrapped up the NZRC two-wheel drive class title, he's still got that overall title with the open two-wheel drive and historic cars to aim for.
Jordan Grant had shown brilliant pace on day 1, but that came to an end here when the car slid off the road and down a steep gully, injuring co-driver Glenn Goldring and stopping the stage. So with just one stage run in the morning, the results see Thompson ahead of the Honda of Anthony Torito, Lucas Ramsey and Charlie Evans, Van der Meijs in 5th, but Tim Mackesy out with a damaged clutch.
Well, Dylan, 3 stages to go before you can claim that championship.
Yeah, it's
a bit nerve-wracking and you don't really know how hard to push. We probably shouldn't push, but if we back off, we might just slide off. There's a lot of clay out there, and if you miss a braking point or a little bit blasé about getting on their throttle, you'll just get stuck in a drain. So yeah, it's a gentle balance now, but I can't wait to be back here in 3 stages to get rid of the nerves.
Hayden, we always knew conditions were going to be crucial today. What's it like out there?
Yeah, slippy, but when you expect it, it's not as bad. So yeah, just when you're in our position and taking no risk, you're just trying to keep it in the middle of the road and try and keep it out of the slushy stuff, really. So yeah, pretty clean morning for us so far.
Obviously, clean lead in the New Zealand Championship, but also in WRC too.
Yeah, obviously we're just trying to manage those at the moment and not focus at all on stage times, just trying to keep the result under attack.
Shane, bumper yesterday, guard today. What happened?
Nothing, just carried on, but yeah, pretty good couple of stages, had a bit of fun.
Was there anything relevant from your run through there 2 years ago?
Oh, no, I hardly remember it, yeah.
So obviously the conditions probably not ideal and tyre choices become really, really crucial.
Not really, I think everyone will be on the same tyre, the soft. Yeah, I don't know what to expect for the second run. I don't think it'll be grippier like it was yesterday. I don't really understand what's going to happen, so take it as it comes and be a little cautious probably, yeah.
Well, Todd, the day's really throwing everything at us, isn't it?
Oh, mate, it's wet down here. It's not too bad up there. It's actually nicer than I thought it was going to be, but the roads are slippery. They had a lot of rain overnight, yeah. But
what do you think it's going to be like that second run through?
Oh, I don't know. It's a lottery, mate. Looking pretty slippery. I think, don't know, mate. It's going to be tough. We're going pretty well, though, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is a new day for the New Zealand Championship as well as your challenge for WRC2, right?
Yeah, that's my main goal. But the goal is to be here on Sunday and enjoy the beer Sunday afternoon, mate. So without that, you can't get your goal. So we chipped away. We've been chipping away at the sky in front of me. So took a few out in the first and a few out in the next. So we're doing the right thing. We're going in the right direction. At least we're not going backwards.
Well, Ben, first of all, with reference to what happened yesterday, just run us through the crash.
Yeah, it's obviously trying pretty hard yesterday, just trying not to lose too much time to the front boys, and yeah, obviously probably a little bit too committed into that 7 left into the 5 right, and it went round on me. It doesn't normally happen, but yeah, caught me out that time, and it all happened pretty quick.
Well, part of that reason, obviously, is your engine issues. How's it today?
Yeah, it's no different. It's just the same, but then you're sort of second-guessing yourself, but yeah, it's not like it used to be, so we have to just work on and what it is, but yeah, see what happens.
I mean, wet conditions, sometimes power can be a negative.
Yeah, it's pretty slippery out there, but yeah, Hawke's Bay proved that. We pushed on pretty hard, but yesterday I think was probably the same result that we had in Whangarei 4 or 5 years ago. You're pushing hard to try not to lose too much time with, trying to make up time, and then things like that happen, so we're just taking it a bit easier today and get through and get to the finish.
The leading Rally Challenge cars did get through Stage 8 and 9 unhindered. Sean Haggerty taking the early lead on Stage 8. But on Stage 9, Jeff Ward came back to take the lead by 17 seconds. Matt Adams initially in third. But Bryn Smith getting back in front on Stage 9.
And Bryn's absolutely stepped up a gear for this event. He's shown himself to be a real contender. Look out for him in 2023.
McRae Sloper had spent the morning repairing a drive shaft, but looking forward to the afternoon stages.
McRae been an eventful rally so far. Talk us through what happened on Friday.
Yeah, Friday was not a bad day. We started off quite well. Things were going relatively to plan, and then on Te Akau South we just went wide at a junction, and then we were really lucky. We went skidded along a fence line and the actual post snapped and come in the window. So we had glass and stuff inside the cars for a little while, so we were a little bit gun shy for the rest of the day, but we crawled back and then changed the door. But we just had a few issues with the gearbox mounts and stuff like that. So then this morning we're touring out and they finally gave way. So replace those and head out in the afternoon and have another go and see how we go.
World's fastest Nuaean.
Yep, apparently by default, me, myself, and I guess. So no, it's yeah. I always like to have the flag on the side of the car. half new weigh-in, so why not?
Rain, rain and more rain on the stages as the cars head back for the final rally of 2022 New Zealand Championship. After a disrupted morning, the rally was back on time for the afternoon, and the open class cars would provide plenty of competition. Brent Taylor had the lead after stage 11, but the car stopped after the stage. So Stumpy Holmes took the lead on stage 12 and held on to win the day over Dan Haynes, who managed to get past Dave Strong. That confirmed Dan Haynes as the Open two-wheel drive champion.
And Dan's come a long way. We saw him in the Rally Challenge two-wheel drive class last year in this car. He won that. He's stepped up now. He's taken on the Open two-wheel drive class. He's had a huge battle with the veteran Dave Strong, and he's come out on top.
And 6 right, tightens to 5 plus, 60.
So confirming Stumpy Holmes takes the final round win for Open two-wheel drive for the year, ahead of Dan Haynes, Dave Strong and Chris Alexander. And for John Silcock, it was a bit of a lonely day in the historics, but he had that battle with Dylan Thompson for the overall two-wheel drive title. Unfortunately, he couldn't quite hold the Fiesta at bay.
No change in the New Zealand two-wheel drive results, with Dylan Thompson taking the win and adding overall two-wheel drive championship to his tally of trophies. Second for Anthony Torito in his first appearance in the NZRC, and Lucas Ramsey third, his first podium.
And great to see the young guns going well, with Lucas Ramsey taking his second podium finish for the year. So for the final time this year, we confirmed those NZRC two-wheel drive results with Dylan Thompson heading home, Ant Torito and Lucas Ramsey. Clutch problems relegated Charlie Evans to 4th, with JP Vandermees coming home 5th.
Just 3 finishes in Rally Challenge two-wheel drive, Jonty Brenzel winning and being awarded the Dunlop Drive of the Rally for his giant-killing efforts in his Starlet. A great result for Zeal Jones in second. BB, this has been a season of learning for Zeal.
Yeah, he's absolutely a young star coming through. Started out with very little power in the car, they've added it as they've gone, and the results have got better and better. While consistency saw another podium finish for Jono Shapley in 3rd.
Jeff Ward stayed ahead of the Rally Challenge four-wheel drive class with a 1-minute win over Sean Haggerty. Haggerty, who drives under the Scottish flag, one of 3 non-Kiwi drivers in the field, which included Pierre-Henri Brunet from Vanuatu.
And it's fantastic, after a couple of years of all the COVID-enforced border restrictions, to welcome international visitors back to the championship.
And Yutaka Yasunami from Japan.
And Yasu-san's been a regular visitor. This is his 12th or 13th visit to New Zealand with Dale Perry.
Bryn Smith held off a strong challenge by Matt Adams to take 3rd. Adams just 6.9 seconds back in 4th.
And it's great to see his brother Carl back in the car, the Mowbros back together. For the Adams family, Rally New Zealand's a really special event. Father Paul won it back in 1970, while Uncle John's name is on the Wolf Whittaker Memorial Trophy. Of course, John Wolf tragically killed with his co-driver Grant Whittaker in a rallying accident in the 1980s.
Hazley Windelborn taking 5th, ahead of Andrew Elder in the Mitsubishi Evo 4, formerly campaigned by the late Malcolm Stewart.
And this is a fantastic tribute to Malcolm. Malcolm contested more Rally New Zealand events than any other driver in the history of the event, so it's great to see his legacy living on.
Steve Cox had to fight to the end to stay ahead of the hard-charging James Dunlop. Dunlop had missed day 1 when a brake rotor shattered on stage 1, so was making the most of his dream to compete in a WRC rally. The gap eventually just 3.8 seconds.
And for James, his regular co-driver realised when it was too late that he'd already booked a holiday on the weekend of Rally New Zealand. How does that happen? So he got a brand new co-driver. Imagine doing this event for your first ever rally. That's a story to tell.
5 left, 50, and then 6 right, 400.
And Amy Keeley finishing in 10th.
So confirming those results in the Rally Challenge four-wheel drive class, Jeff Ward taking the win for the round and the year. Sean Haggerty in second with Bryn Smith third, just ahead of Matt Adams. Some real close battles across the front of the field.
So the final 3 stages for our top drivers, but of course those the WRC field would continue to compete on the final day of Repco Rally New Zealand, which was not part of the NZRC. Being the second run through the stages, the drivers knowing what to expect, while Paddon won the final 3 stages, the margins were surprisingly close.
Those weather conditions have definitely got worse, and you can see Hayden is managing that gap. He's got so much to play for here. WRC 2 points and all that to think about, as well as the NZRC, and hoping to deliver John that co-driver's title.
Van Gisbergen just 2 seconds shy of Paddon through Kuiper Hills 2.
Oh, he is certainly trying there. No backing off from SVG. I think we all expected to see pace from Shane. He'd showed us plenty before he turned up here, but never in these sorts of conditions. This is a really impressive drive, and he just shows he's the complete package. I mean, a week later he went and won Bathurst.
Shane, the pace is just picking up over and over every stage. Are you really feeling like a rally driver?
How far off were we then? Oh, mid. That was good, yeah. Just so hard to know the grip, so kind of playing it safe in some spots. Had a couple of moments down the hill then, but didn't lift, so that was good.
Sideways is good.
I'm trying to be straight and stay in the wheel tracks, but yeah, when you're sideways, just try and stand on it and get back into the line, but yeah, probably go a bit easier in the next one. I found that one a bit tougher, but having fun. We'll finish the day off strong.
While the teams had a clean run through Kuiper Hills this time, Puhoi was the longest stage of the day, and as the weather got worse and worse, there was drama to come.
Left. Oh, 60, 4 right.
Oh, I think we got a puncher. How long to go?
5k.
Okay, we've got to keep going.
30, 5 right plus, yeah.
That was a big impact when you see the tyre deflated immediately. It was one of 3 cars to hit that same rock consecutively, with Australian champion Harry Bates and then Todd Borden all collecting the same one.
That allowed Rana Horan to close up in 3rd.
Rana showed what might have been with a massive drive through the afternoon, actually equalling Paddon's time through the final stage of the day.
But Ben Hunt was also closing in on him now, second fastest on the stage and now just 26 seconds behind in 4th.
It's an impressive drive from Ben. He's still got that throttle issue, so he's still lacking confidence. You just don't know when you turn the car in whether you can drive it out of the corner. But drives like this, good sensible drives, are what will net him second place in the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship for 2022.
Ari Pettigrew and Matt Summerfield under 5 seconds behind Hunt. In the end, Ari held on to 5th.
And that 5th place would net him 3rd in his rookie NZRC four-wheel drive campaign. A truly remarkable result.
With Summerfield just 2.7 back in 6th.
And that was, in the end, the difference between 3rd and 4th in the championship. A fascinating battle that went right down to the wire.
Jack Hawkswood saved his best until last, 3rd fastest on the final stage, and inched ahead of Todd Borden to take 7th.
And it's times like that that really reward the faith shown by Toyota Gazoo Racing New Zealand. This new car shows a lot of potential as we head to 2023.
Borden had been under pressure from Jones before he crashed.
The pair were both chasing that WRC2 Masters lead. Unfortunately, the puncture for Borden really put paid to that, and he'd just run out of time.
And long 5 right, 60.
And also Robbie Stokes, before he had a hell of moments, he took down a power pole.
So as we confirm the results for the final time this year, Padden with another win. But look at some of those margins. Van Gisbergen and Horan, just a couple of seconds in it. 4th to 6th, only a handful of seconds in that. And not even a second between Jack Hawkswood and Todd Borden for 7th and 8th.
Well, Hayden, another NZRC podium to finish off the season.
Yeah, obviously a good day. Tricky conditions as we expected, but we just really focused on keeping it clean and smooth today. No moments, no risk. Literally in the middle of the road. So we ticked all the boxes, so no, very good day.
John, congratulations, champion co-driver.
Thank you. Yeah, it was his turn yesterday and my turn today.
Well, Shane, congratulations, another NZRC podium.
Oh, and Glenn, yeah, it was pretty awesome for us. Pretty cool day. We hit a rock on the second last stage, I think, but then 2 cars after it hit the same rock. It wasn't really cutting, it was just sticking out, so that was a shame. But rest of the day was good. The conditions were very tough, so we were pretty straight most of it. A couple of moments, but all good.
Right, I guess it's been a weekend of what might have been, because that stage win for WRC2, pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was, and we were just talking about that on the way home. We're like, what if? Well, it just happens, man. You know, there's nothing we can do about it. But we had a great day today, and we enjoyed it.
So another season of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship comes to an end, a season in which Hayden Padden took another title. But with the introduction of a new fleet of WRC2 cars and more on the way in 2023, the future looks bright. Enjoy the off-season. We will see you again in 2023.